great patience by first as well. Am I checking? Yeah, it was first.
Yep. Second place at MLG Raleigh to Lenok, and he did take out Hero.
Yeah, that
in the matches prior.
that game on Daybreak, man, was fantastic. It was one of the best games I've seen in quite a while. That was awesome.
Well, Kev, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll have another one like it here on Daybreak.
Yeah, Sage is the blue Protoss spawning in the left bottom side of this map. RoX.KIS Titan is our red Russian Protoss spawning in the right top side. These two guys are roommates right now, or at least live in the same house, the Ministry of Wind. Seems like a really fun house. If I was in Europe, then I would have definitely just dropped by the Ministry of Wind for a visit, see how they're living over there, see how they're practicing. I think it's always fun.
Poland's one of my favorite esports countries, man, and I think a sort of gamer house in Poland would be a really cool thing. Interestingly, Rhett also at the Ministry of Wind. I did a little talk show with Fnatic this morning called, oh shoot, what is it called? Darn. Man, I'm trying to give a plug to these guys, but now I can't remember the name of their show. Anyway, my girlfriend hosted. Rhett was on it. Harston was on it. They talked about a lot of StarCraft stuff, and I'm sure it'll pop up on Reddit here in a day or two. What is it called? It's called... I'm not going to remember. I'm just not going to remember.
That's awesome.
Lucky for me, my girlfriend doesn't watch these broadcasts, so she can't get mad at me.
Might as well get back to her eventually, man. The Twitter universe is always out there.
It was called the... I keep wanting to say The View, but that's like that all-girls talk show that people watch here in America.
The View?
The View.
Why have I never heard of this, man? Why does this sound so awesome, and I've never heard of this?
I think you would love The View, Kev.
I'm sure. If it's half as good as Jersey Shore, I'm in. I'm just kidding. I think that show's half. Sage is going to scout around this base, want to make sure that there are no proxies going up and stuff. Titan once more not scouting, man. But he is getting a pretty quick cyber core. I really think that has everything to do with each other. As he's going to get quick stalkers out, he will get a little bit of map control, and I guess he will feel safe. And knows he doesn't have to worry about 4 gates and whatnot.
Titan put himself in such a great position in the last game, Kevin, and he did it by cutting corners, expanding quickly, not really scouting.
Well, yeah, the expand wasn't that quick, actually, because it was 1 gate robo, then added 2 more gates, then expanded. Now, that's really not that greedy. There are so many ways to play more greedy. For instance, there are people who go 1 gate expand and actually say that they feel safe against everything. TT1 had that build and was actually a very good build. So I don't think he played all that greedy. He just had a good build order against what Sage was doing, and he did everything right in the start until he took 1 wrong fight. And after that, it's kind of surprising because what Titan really excelled at in Warcraft 3 was micro. His micro was fantastic. One of the best Night Elves in Europe without a shadow of a doubt, and always had great micro. But he was a little bit stubborn, and sometimes even people said that he just played like a robot rather than actually thinking about what his opponents like to do. He just played his games on the autopilot way, and that was probably his biggest weakness. So to see him lose a game mostly due to micro is very surprising.
Certainly he made some poor engagements, but I feel like a lot of that also came down to just his decision making. Like, I liked what he was trying to do there, drawing the army of Sage out into the corner on Ohana and then trying to come around behind it. But Sage just had a better fighting army at that point in the game.
I think that Titan hoped that Sage wasn't really ready for a fight, and that all Sage wanted to do was to save those 2 Stalkers. Well, Titan's going to be in a little bit of trouble over here, man. This Stalker was way out of position, takes a lot of shots. 1 more shot was needed to kill it. Sage is going to chase it, but if Sage would have run to the other side of the map, he could have done some serious damage over there as well.
Titan again dropping that relatively quick expansion.
This time it was 1 gate nexus. So
doing it completely blind. Has no idea what his opponent is up to. As it happens, though, Sage is also expanding very, very quickly off of his 2 gates. So Titan will once again be a little bit ahead, but not that far ahead.
Titan loses his first Stalker, which is a pretty big deal in this phase of the game, certainly when you're just working off 1 gate. But luckily for him, as you mentioned, Ben, Sage is expanding as well, so he's going to be able to get away with that. He did have very nice map control in the start, as he had a Zealot over here, Zealot at the Zelnaga Watchtower, and then he had this Stalker patrolling on the north side, so basically shot down every entrance that a probe could have possibly made. But still. I kind of wonder if Sage actually really wants to 4-gate once and hides it very well, if Titan is going to scout it. Because there are still many uncovered spots that he never really scouted.
Titan definitely does play pretty blind, Kev. Now, Daybreak's a really long map, with both these guys expanding this early and kind of showing us that they want to focus on their macro. Do you think this game's kind of sort of turn into one of those passive, big late game Daybreak games that we're so accustomed to?
I definitely think so, Ben, as neither of these two guys open up aggressively with, let's say, one gate Blink Stalker into some pressure, then expand, or one player went Phoenixes. What is very possible, Ben, is when they check out each other and when they see like, what are you doing and what am I doing? Both players will see, hey, we have identical builds. That is a situation where Speed Prism Immortal becomes very, very strong because both players obviously start producing Immortals right now, so you're going to have at least one Immortal, maybe two. Well, Titan adds the Twilight Console right now, so that kind of shuts then adoption. That's an interesting moment to add a Twilight Console. I kind of wonder where he's going to go with it.
Yeah, me too. We like to say that Daybreak's not really the best map in the world for Blink play. Of course, once you sort of get into the mid game, everybody wants Blink anyway, as we see Titan losing his Observer. Maybe a little sloppily.
He got I mean, he was the Stalks were chasing it over here, and then he was kind of forced to go into the base. Then he just sacrificed it, but didn't really get to see a whole lot. You're 100% right about Blink Stalks, but of course there are so many ways in which you can use Blink. As you can see, Sage, by the way, Ben, Sage is dropping Robo Bay and Warp Prism, so maybe Titan is just thinking way ahead. It's like, hey, if I'm going Robo and you're going Robo, you're probably going to try to play Warp Prism Immortal because that is the best way to go from here on, unless I do something really smart, man.
Like get Blink?
Yes, and snipe the Warp Prism.
And that's exactly what Titan is doing. He's researching that Blink upgrade while he's sort of...
well, yeah. Now that Sage is going to scout this, I think the moment that Sage is going to see this Twilight Console, I don't see any reason for him to fly around with a Warp Prism and two Immortals. It's just way too risky.
Titan's also getting a Warp Prism here, Kevin. So...
and he is getting 6k, so I think Titan is going to be very aggressive. It's not going to be a Colossus game. Man, this is like a really interesting chain of events. They both scout and then they react to what they see on the each other side of the map.
Sage is still just kind of parked in his natural, keeping that defensive stance, realizing that his opponent is probably going to be getting pretty aggressive pretty soon. First Colossus in production for Sage. Of course, once that Colossus comes out, it's going to make additional aggression from Titan very, very difficult. I think already aggression is going to be difficult with two Immortals on the field.
I feel the same way, Ben. Sage, take a look. He doesn't really have any Zealots. I feel that's the only weakness because you really want to get some Zealots. Because if Titan warps in 6 more Stalkers, he can go for a big Suicide Blink, let the Zealots and Immortal run up first and then just Blink on top of everything with an amazing amount of Stalkers. But if Sage adds a couple of Zealots, that's not possible anymore. But Sage is still adding Stalkers himself.
And that Colossus getting very near completion, 60 of 75 on that build time there, as we do see Titan sending these first 4 Zealots over into the main base. This is a good move, and this is going to be really difficult for Sage to deal with, although he is just finishing a couple of new warp gates, so he will be able to warp in units almost immediately.
But his army is so far out of position right now, Titan. Why did you back up so extremely far? Now he's kind of giving Sage a couple of extra seconds to prepare himself better against what is potentially coming.
Wow, so many warp ins up here in the main base. There's like 8 Zealots rampaging through Sage's main. At the same time, Titan wants to come forward. Will he go for the big Blink? Looks like no. He's not quite ready to commit to it yet. And I don't think he really has to. He's done great damage up here in the main. He's killed 10 probes. And he's even going to get out of there with a couple Zealots in that Warp Prism.
It's good, but I'm not sure if this is good enough, man. He's going to need something more. Titan adds another Robo right now. So he goes from no Robo play to double Robo. And never decided to go for that Suicide Blink, as Sage did a very good job in splitting up his army, didn't really overcommit. But I feel that Sage is still in great position right now, Ben. He's going to have 2 Colossus with thermal lens, 44 over 43 workers. He has a supply lead, and he has everything working for him. I like Sage's position so much more right now than one of Titan.
You know, something that's really crazy to think about is Titan killed 11 probes, and he's still down in Harvesters. So he was, I mean, this is basically a 2-base all-in that Titan just did. Didn't really work out. Now he has to back off and try and transition. We do see him sitting at a probe to that 3rd base. Where he will be expanding again, but now it's Sage who's in the driver's seat, Kevin. He can walk across the map and get really aggressive. He's still got a terrifying army. Has he gotten Blink yet? No. Actually, I don't even think Sage has a Twilight Council.
Nope, he doesn't, but he has that army. As you said, I still don't get why he never really decided to add a couple of Zealots in his MiG. Certainly against the amount of Blink Stalkers that Titan has. Even though Titan didn't produce that many more, so I guess it is okay, but I really think it's awesome to have at least some Zealots in the mix to soak up some damage, because it makes Blink Stalker so much more irrelevant.
One Hero Zealot will spot the army of Sage down on the bottom half of the map. He just died a terrible death, but
nah, it's not terrible. He went from Daybreak to Ohana. It's a good Zealot.
Somebody should make like a heaven map, where it's like you walk on clouds and the streets are gold.
I think that could be a pretty cool map.
I think it'd be awesome. And then you call it, I don't know, what would you call it? Protoss Afterlife map.
Both players is adding so much additional tech right now. Sage is gonna go at his Twilight Council finally, so he can continue upgrading as well as soon as +1 is ready. Titan is working off double robo, so he's trying to catch up in the Colossus count. So a game that looked impossible to ever reach this still Colossus phase of the game somehow reached up to this point. Titan on 84 supply right now, Sage on 83. Sage still has a small worker lead, and obviously he's up to 3 bases, a little bit before his opponent as well. But other than that,
yeah, but now we're at a pretty stable, even place, as Templar Archives going down for Sage, and we will see him adding in Archons to sort of round out that army composition. Titan's also getting charged. Hasn't added his own Templar tech just yet, but I'm sure it's not too far off.
Sage wants to go up to 4 bases really quickly. I think that's pretty ballsy.
Titan's going to see at least some evidence of Sage's intentions, though. Unloads that Zealot with the Warp Prism, kills, or will start trying to kill this pylon. Sage may, in fact, get there in time to save it. Meanwhile, Titan moving out across the bottom half of the map. He's just, I guess, trying to get some position here.
And the observer of Sage is a little bit out of position, man. He just missed the army, barely though, but he just missed it. Now he's going to find one of these Colossus, and Titan is just going to retreat, so nothing really to see or to worry about. Allows me, Ben, to share a Titan story. Do you want to have a Titan story?
I would love a Titan story.
You know, in Warcraft 3, we basically had 2 big tournaments every year. I mean, obviously we had way more, but 2 tournaments really stood out, WCG and ESWC. And when I was in ESWC, I was talking a lot with SK Holt, who was also a great friend of Titan. Holt, the Ukrainian night elf, Titan the Russian. And I said to Holt, if we get in the same group, let's play reverse race. So you play my race, I play yours on Lost Temple, which was the best orc map, but I was very good with night elf. And then Holt said like, okay, let's do it. But then I won the first map against Holt, and then he didn't want to do it anymore. But then Titan heard about this. He's like, you won't play orc, elf, me orc on LT? I was like, yeah, you want to play Titan? He's like, haha, yeah, easy. Well, I was like, does he have good orc, or why does he want to do it? And then we played this game, and this was a pretty important game. And then Titan played the worst orc I've ever seen. Like, he was level 1 on his hero. Now, this doesn't say a lot to you, but for like the first 5 minutes in this game, and I just giggled. I was like, Titan, what are you doing? And then he came back, and he's like, my orc not so good. I was like, wow, Titan just doesn't care, man.
Titan's awesome.
And then the second game, like, Titan was a much better player than me, and he knew that all he had to do was not play Druid of the Talents against me, and then he would win, because I would never beat his lore strats. And then we play at a really big tournament, and he makes Druid of the Talents. And then after the game, because I won, because that was the only thing I was really good against, he was like, I'm so stupid, I forgot, don't make Talent versus you. I was like, wow, Titan. He was like, do you even think before you play your games? He's like, no.
It's all just muscle memory, I suppose, as we do see Sage dancing around the middle of the map. This game has become very standoffish, very passive. Both these guys just trying to get position on their opponents. Right now, Titan looks like he maybe wants to come crash down this ramp. It would be a bad idea, as Sage is in a great position right now.
A couple of Zealots on the north side of the map, though. They will be able to deal some serious damage. They're actually just going to go for the Nexus ban, and all these Zealots have a lot of DPS. The Stalks are coming in, but it will fall, I think.
Nexus is going to go down. The entire army of Sage moves in position to respond to it, but it's too little too late. Titan perhaps could have moved forward there upon pulling Sage out of position, but instead he just wanted to back up.
I mean, it was a nice little move, but at the end of the day, this kind of falls back to what you often say in PvZ, Ben. At the end of the day, all that you killed was 300 minerals, in this case 400 minerals, but he sacrificed like 800 minerals worth of Zealots. And if you do something like this while not doing anything else on the side, I'm not even sure if it's really worth it.
I don't think it was, not at this stage of the game, where both players are basically maxed.
And he doesn't really need this base yet. Like, it's nice to have it there, but it's not like he's dying for money that without that base he's not going to have any income.
And if we just look at like the state of things, even supplies, there's really only 400 minerals difference in the banks of these two players.
Big beacon.
So I don't know. We might be able to chalk that up just as a donation. If nothing else, it was a little bit annoying for Sage.
It's always annoying. Couple of Zealots, man. And Zealots are probably going to take out the cannon, and then the Dark Templars. Oh, is this a full wall? Or? Oh, now the Dark Templars are going to soak up the damage. But there is not enough detection over here for Titan.
Oh.
So this means that Titan is really going to have to go back ban. Right.
Very frustrating, Kevin. And yeah, I would say so. I think Titan's going to lose a Nexus this time. Oh, he's not going back?
Attack,
Titan, what are you doing?
I think he's going to attack. I think he's mad.
Oh, I don't know if I like this move at all, Kev. He's going to be losing so much inventory. He's still just parked in the middle of the map. He's not attacking and he's not defending. Critical indecision here from Titan, who just can't seem to make up his mind. Still doesn't really want to do anything, not committing to attack or defense.
He really just doesn't want to give up this position in the middle of the map, as it is crucial for Colossus positioning. But as you said, he was very indecisive about how to deal with this. And Sage is just clapping in his hands right now, Ben, because all that Sage wanted was to buy himself a lot of time, as his Mothership attack is so much quicker than the one of Titan. This is really going Sage's way once more. Yeah,
brilliant little maneuver there by Sage that just was so frustrating for Titan to deal with. Titan down to, well, he's supply blocked himself pretty substantially. At 198 of 182 supply, not able to produce units at all. Oh, and now he's going to rally some Zealots into the army of Sage. Now, in the grand scheme of things, these guys are still very even army supply-wise, but Sage, man, starting to outmaneuver Titan a little bit. Oh, he's going to kill the Dark Shrine.
I find it so funny when Dark Templars are attacking a Dark Shrine. I don't know, that has something ironic to me.
Even going to get a single Stalker kill, maybe even a second Stalker. Titan not bothering at all, but no, that Stalker will live.
Titan currently at 310 upgrades, Ben, and the 1 stands for shield, so that's interesting. While Sage's upgrades are looking a little bit better, as he's on 212, and he's even going to be on 222 soon. No, actually he's going for the 3rd armor upgrade. Interesting attack route there for his upgrades. A little bit of War Prism play over here, Ben, as well. Titan is just kind of running behind the facts, and the Mothership Core is, Mothership Core, the real Mothership, Mama Shipper.
Stalkers in the bottom right, Kev, are trying to be annoying as well. They're going to pick off a couple cannons, but Titan will deal with this with just Zealots, so that's a nice exchange for Titan.
Yeah, but Sage is just freeing up supply. Like, he wants to be able to wipe in a couple of units in the main. He's going to take out a lot of finance right now with all these Dark Templars. There's like no detection at all in the main base of Titan. Titan is really going to have to win this fight, Ben. But there is going to be a Vortex soon.
Mothership is there, and will Sage be able to catch the entire army of Titan? Titan is backed into a corner, Kevin. This is a terrible position for it to be in.
Vortex!
The Vortex could go down. Well, yes, it is going to go down, and Titan is going to lose, I think, everything. Oh no, Titan!
Like, this is like the best. This is like the best moment ever, man. When you have like a full 30 seconds to position your Colossus to do as much damage as possible.
This is like Naga Siren, man.
But I don't really understand what Sage is doing.
Oh, Sage!
He will still be fine, but he could have done that a little bit better. But
ultimately
he will
cleans everything up and goes up 60, 70 supply over his opponent.
Titan has a lot of money though, while Sage has been macroing pretty well. Titan has had quite a bit of trouble being able to spend his money. Wow.
He's still trying to deal with the DTs over in his main base, Kevin. There's a single Dark Templar still running around just being an incredible nuisance. There's no detection there. The Robo has been killed. There's another Robo, though. Forgot about that. But this DT just picking off pylons, picking off tech structures, being incredibly, incredibly annoying.
Titan, his own Mothership, is on the way now as well, but I don't think Sage is ever going to give him the time to get there, man. A lot of Colossus and Archons are making their way across the map, and this seems like game over as well. Sage is really making the difference in small moments with a couple of War Prism harass and a little bit of Dark Templar action as well. And Titan, I feel like his indecisiveness killed him. I
really feel like Sage is maybe multitasking a little bit better than Titan. We can see it on the APMs as well, 225 average APM to just 160. As Sage is going to push forward once again and will deliver yet another killing blow to the Russian Protoss player. Sage looking very good at PvP right now.
Looking really solid the first 2 games, man, but there are so many different maps. This is a best of 11, so nothing is lost yet. But Sage does take a 2-0 lead, and pretty convincingly. Titan was ahead in game number 1, but Sage turned that around after, in my opinion, more like a mistake on Titan's behalf, rather than that Sage did really something well. This game, however, I really feel that the reason why Sage got ahead is because he just played better.
Yeah, he did a lot of things well, and Titan just wasn't able to keep up. That makes the score 2-0 in this best of 11. It's first to 6 for $500. This is the first day of the Take TV HomeCraft event, put together by Dennis Take Galen and broadcast here at the North American Star League. Thank you, Dennis, for what camera am I supposed to be looking
Camera
at?
3, man. Camera 2. Camera 3.
I was so confused. The camera's kind of hiding behind.
You know what I'm wondering
jib.
about right now? If someone in the house of Dennis, if someone at HomeCraft has Looping Louis running. Because if you guys do not have Looping Louis running, I'll be seriously disappointed.
Kevin, I figured out some really good rules for the Crocky game.
Nothing beats Looping Louis, though.
I don't think that the Crocky game beats Looping Louis. Looping Louis is amazing, but you know, when obviously you get bit, you take a drink.
Yes.
But if you make it down to the last tooth, like if there's only 2 left, and you pick correctly, then everybody else drinks.
That's nice.
It's a good rule.
But you know the amount of rules that we had at Looping Louis, right?
Looping Louis has a very complex
we can literally like rewrite the rule book of Looping Louis because everything in that book is wrong and we have the real rules. Anyway, guys, small commercial break and we'll be right back with Titan versus Sage, game number 3. So, hope you guys having fun in Germany.